What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new figure review. Today we are looking at GIPSY AVENGER from Robot Spirits. This is the brand new Jaeger from the upcoming Pacific Rim Uprising film, which I'm not particularly excited for. However, I do think the designs of the new Jaegers still look really cool. Pacific Rim 1 being one of my favorite movies of all time. So let's take a closer look at this figure here. We've got this brand new packaging here. I've never had anything from Robot Spirits before, so this is all new to me. You've got the Bandai logo and the Tamashii Nations logo down there at the bottom. And I don't know if this is necessarily made in America. I feel like this is probably an import, judging by the text all over the box. So it's really cool to see an import style figure available in the United States. I picked this up at Toys R Us, and guys, get this. This figure was only $20. Throughout the review, this figure is just absolutely going to shit on American $20 action figures. I'm really impressed with it so far, so let's not waste a whole lot of time. We'll continue here. Look at the package on the side there. You see that it says GIPSY Avenger on the back. You've got Gypsy in some really dynamic poses. You can see there 24 points of articulation. Comes with really awesome accessories as well on this side of the box. Another picture of the figure. So let's go ahead and get GIPSY Avenger out of the packaging. Two things to note here that are pretty cool. You've got this nice Pan-Pacific Defender Corps background, and just in case you're a little confused about the figure itself, there's even instructions. Look at that. Actually includes instructions. I didn't know these instructions were included until it was too late. I kind of ended up messing with the figure on my own. And of course, before we take a look at the figure itself, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories that comes with GIPSY Avenger. Now, I think you'll notice right off the bat that where this figure saves a lot of money is there's hardly any paint on anything, but I think it's fine. I think that the actual design of the figure doesn't really need all of that paint, so that's cool. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories here. This is the open grip hand that comes with GIPSY Avenger. As you can see, it's got really nice detail. You can see all of the little indents and joints within the Jaeger itself. However, obviously there's absolutely zero paint on that. Same thing with this one, no paint really, no paint at all, but still really nice level of detail, especially for the price tag. Also comes with these two back pieces that will plug into the figure, and we'll show that in a little bit, but still, again, just some blue plastic, not a whole lot going on there. Of course, we only get one chain sword with this figure, which is a little weird. I know the Diamond Select comes with two chain swords, but this one only comes with one, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal, just because, like I said, this figure is absolutely awesome for the price and for what you get with it. I'm seriously impressed. The chain sword looks pretty awesome. It is stiff plastic here, so you can't get a bend out of it. I know I have the NECA Gypsy Danger, and that has a bendy wire in the sword, so you can give it a little bit of a whip vibe, kind of like how it is in the movie, but this one you cannot do that. It's just a straight piece of plastic, but it is nicely painted. Nice silver there. Looks really good on the figure. Very shiny, very reflective. Actually looks like metal. It doesn't have that sort of dull silver paint that a lot of figures end up having. And the last accessory right here is the arm cannon, which still looks really awesome. And as you can see, the effect of it charging up here is just blue plastic, so I'm really thinking that's how they ended up saving a lot of money on this, which is fine with me because I think it looks really good anyway. The silver in the actual barrel looks awesome as well. Very clean detail paint on there. Looks good. So overall, I really like the accessories, so let's take a look at the figure. Alright, and here is GIPSY Avenger out of the packaging, looking totally awesome. I can't believe how well this figure turned out. I almost passed it up too. I was leaving Toys R Us actually after an unsuccessful trip, and something just told me to turn around and caught my eye and I saw the Gypsy and I knew what it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm already finding it. So I'm super happy to have this figure as well. But as you can see, this figure looks absolutely incredible. I think for the $20 price tag, it's insane. Literally insane. And just looking at it in the camera, it just looks so good too. Love the details on this figure. So as you can see, these are the little back wing pieces I was talking about. They just plug in real easy, and they're a nice snug fit. They're not gonna fall out for sure, which is good. They just plug in just like that. Really awesome. No hassle there. So let's take a look at some of the details of this figure. Like I said, there isn't a whole lot of paint on this guy. Most of the figure seems to just be the plastic colors, which I still think looks very good. And as you can see, the figure itself is very reflective and has a nice sheen to it. So taking a look at the helmet right there, you can see the wonderful gold paint there, absolutely clean on there, very reflective as well. Really digging this new design of Gypsy. You can see that this piece of orange plastic for the reactor is nice and translucent, which looks really good when you shine it in the light like that. That looks awesome. Really nice touch there. We've even got some nice details here on the pauldrons. You've got the Gypsy insignia there with some nice red paint throughout the figure. Nice little red line details throughout. Some on the wrist there as well. Just looks really good. Really impressed with this, honestly. So, you got also the numbers right there. Looks really good, really clean. Numbers on the legs as well, looking really good. So there is some nice little detail on this figure, not a whole lot, but like I said, with the design of the figure, it's sleek and you don't really need all that busy work there. So I think this figure really benefits from the simplicity of the design. So let's take a look at articulation, which is a big highlight of this figure for me. Very dynamic. You've got some range of movement with the head looking up and down, not a whole lot, but you do get all sorts of good rotation for it being on a ball joint, so you definitely can get some dynamic head movements out of it. The pauldrons are articulated as well. They move up and down, so they will not really hinder articulation that much. They can move up pretty far, so you can't really get full 90 here, but I don't think that's really the biggest deal, just because the articulation itself is very fluid, and you can typically, it seems like I've been able to find a workaround for the figure. So I really like that they added this and gave you some nice range of movement. You can see the bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbows, which give you way more than 90. They work perfectly. They're awesome. The wrist, it's a little loose, but it's on a ball joint there, so you get any sort of articulation you want out of that. For the torso here, you do get some movement there. You can move back just a little bit and move forward just a little bit, not a whole lot, but still I don't think that's a deal breaker. Leg articulation, look at that. You can kick straight up, which is absolutely awesome. It does pull out and plug back in, so it is pretty gappy, but with it being a robot character, I think that works out just fine. I think it makes sense in terms of the design, but yeah, you can get crazy leg articulation out of this guy, which is amazing. Double jointed knees that work perfectly. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. And he does have ankle movement. You can move his feet up and down pretty far, more so up further than down, but still looks really good. And of course you can get that lovely ankle pivot. Not a whole lot, but just enough. So with the accessories, this was probably one of the most difficult parts for me to figure out, was how to take the arms off, but you just really got to pull at them and give it your best shot here, and it comes right off. It's a little bit dangerous, it's a little bit spooky at first, and you can see that the plug fits right in there. It's nice and snug, and you will hear that wonderful pop when you know you got it in there. So they plug right in, real easy, real simple to plug in, and they look great. I think this figure is absolutely awesome. Just look at it. Look at it right there, just posed by itself. If you want to have a quick comparison here, I've got the first release from NECA, which is kind of a funny parallel when you really think about it. This is sort of like the big, bulky, less articulated version of Gypsy, which is also like a kind of representation of NECA as a company, you know, kind of bulky, less articulation. And then this is the slimmer, sleeker, better articulation figure from Robot Spirits, which seems to be an awesome company just based on this figure. I'm definitely picking up the other two Pacific Rim figures that they have coming out as well. So you can see how the differences are with these two figures there. And also, just for the sake of comparison, we'll just have a little old knife head right there so you can see kind of how they scale up next to each other. So, for $20, what you get is absolutely insane. US toy makers like Hasbro should be ashamed of themselves with this figure. I don't know how it's so cheap. I showed Buck the figure, which I asked him how much he thought it was, and just based on what it looked like, he said, you know, he thought I probably spent like $50 or so on it, but I did not. I got it for $20. Nice and cheap, and this figure is absolutely awesome. So cool. And here he is with his sword accessory out, which looks awesome. Look at that range of motion you can get out of this. So many cool opportunities for poses with this guy. I'm so excited. Still not really excited about the movie, but I'm excited about these figures because as long as they look cool on my shelf, that's really all I care about at the end of the day. So, final thoughts here. This figure is amazing. For $20, you can't beat it. Everyone should go pick this figure up regardless of your thoughts or feelings on the movie because it's just a great action figure. So yeah, I'm going to give it my highest recommendation. So definitely go pick this up regardless of how you feel about the movie. It's just a great figure. Undeniable. Really love the way this looks. Very impressed, very happy. Glad that I took the dive on this figure. Let me know what your thoughts of it are in the comments down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, share this video with your friends, all that good stuff. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.